Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are back on the main channel with a video that's not a Ditto Fridays. We're back with some Pokemon content. Now basically, if you guys aren't aware, recently on the channel update video went up on I think Monday, where basically we now have 3 channels. We've got the main channel, we've got Ditto Reacts, and we've got Ditto Clips. So basically, on the main channel for at the moment, we're going to have Ditto Fridays on Fridays, and we're going to have Pokemon Week Wednesdays. So basically, as of right now, if I'm in a draft league, I'll be uploaded on a Wednesday, unless the league says, oh, you have to upload on this day, sort of thing. Like for PBAL, but I had to drop out of that because basically my mind wasn't in the right place at the time. I'd gone 2 weeks already. I'd gone to about 3 or 4 weeks. I was just, my head wasn't in it. It really wasn't. And because of it being obviously let go from work, and you know, all things were piling up at the time. I was like, please, 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 I can't be up to do live comms or anything like that. So I need to relax, chillax, chill out. I can do these when I feel okay to do it. So that's what we're doing today. And what we're going to do is we've got our PGF draft analysis video. Now, PGF is a league. I think it's its first season. I could be wrong about that, but basically Mr. Foss himself, Mr. Dean, has set up a league where basically it's got 3 divisions, with each division having separate ranks of difficulty. So all the best coaches are in the top division. Then all the mid coaches are in the middle division. Then all the newbies and the bad coaches are at the bottom. So we're in the bottom. We're in the bottom division because we are so bad at league. We are so bad. Literally, my first video on Draft League was pretty much when was my first video? 2017, I think. My first video was season 7 of UCC, and that was what, 3 or 4 years ago. So basically I'd done competitive for about 7 seasons before that. So I've only really been like into Draft League since that first video. So realistically, I should have gotten better since then. I've gotten a smidge better. But my problem is, my main problem is that I just, when I play a game, I go, oh, I'm good at this, and just don't get better, and everyone else goes, meow, just go straight past me. It's like, I don't know what my problem is. I just don't learn. I just struggle. Like with new games, I just stick to one thing and say, yeah, this is how it works. And then, oh, if you do this, and this, you'll be better. And I'm like, yeah, but that takes so much time, and I don't know. Like, if I sat down properly and learned a game properly, I might be good at it. But it's just getting me to do that is the hardest thing in the world. Because my attention span isn't great. It's not. I can't like sit down and play a game like all day unless I've got something like distracting me as well. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those things. But anyway, I've gone completely off tangent again. But PGF. Now basically, draft process was basically it was points based draft. We had 11 mons to choose from, and basically, I came down one morning, eat my breakfast, as you do. This will make sense in a minute. But basically, it came down, ate my breakfast. Ben comes down, checkmate Ben, and goes, "Yo, Jake, you're picking PGF. What do you want?" I'm like, I thought the draft wasn't supposed to start until Friday. I've not got a plan. I know what I'm doing. So he said, "Oh, Jake, can I pick for you?" I'm like, "Sure, go for it." So Ben picks me my first mon, which is Tapu Fini. So basically, he knows I love Tapu Fini. It's probably one of my most played mons ever in draft. So hopefully we can make it good again, because I love using Tapu Fini. I really do. Bulky water fairy. It's just, I think it's my favourite Tapu to use. I think it really is, because it's quite bulky. Obviously, it's got 115 defense, 130 defense, 150 defense, 130 special defense. Quite fat. Can be run as a semi-bulky attacker as well with Carmine sets, because it's got 95 special attack, which is nothing to be shy about. Misty Surge is fantastic, because they can't Toxic Stall us unless you put Toxic Spike stuff, or, you know, they've got to use some weird text to get Tapu Fini poisoned, and all our other mons, which is fantastic. So you can't burn our physical attackers, can't whittle down, poison our bulky options on the team. So it's really good. Obviously, gets the likes of, doesn't get recovery, which is its only downfall. Like if it got like recover, that would be fantastic, because the only recovery it really has is rest or life dew, but life dew is kind of bad, or aqua. So basically, if it had recovery, this thing would be broken. It would 100% be broken. If it got like wish or something, it'd be bad. It'd be like tier 1's max points if it had recovery, but it just doesn't. So main sets I usually run that. I don't know why I'm explaining this, but the main set I used to run back in the day was Nature's Madness, because it gets a free 50% on whatever you want to switch in, which is really good. Scald burns, great, but Mr. Terrain Up, not really useful. So obviously opt to run Surf or Hydro Pump over that. Obviously gets Knock Off as well. Defog, because it's a good defog option as well, but it's not weak to any hazards. Toxic Spikes will just go, haha, I can switch in. Oh, on switching, Toxic Spikes poison you, doesn't it? So yeah, that's an issue, but if it's already up, we can just go into this and go, haha, defog away. Spikes, we take neutral damage from Spikes, neutral damage from Stealth Rocks as well, Sticky Webs as well, we can just defog those away. So this is probably our best defog option on the team right now, from what I remember. So basically, I'm really looking forward to use Tapu Fini again, and hopefully it can, Aquarius, our Tapu Fini, can do the most and help us pick up a W. So next up, I thought, well, we've got Water Fairy type. I think Ben picked 2 of my picks, because I was wheel pick. I wasn't wheel pick, I was one next to wheel pick. So it's my pick. Then I think it was Green, who had 2 picks, and then went back up to me again. So Ben said, right, I'm picking your next 2 mons, because Green's here waiting for his pick, so I might as well do 2 once. I said, sure. So I was still eating my freaking Weetabix. I did my banana Weetabix, because that's the goated one. Can't even top it. But yeah, Mega Charizard X. So he picked Mega Charizard X because I mentioned to him before that I really want to use Mega Charizard X in a draft at some point, because when I pick a dragon, I usually pick either what do I usually pick? Mence. I love a bit of Mentme. Hydreigon as well. Dragonite I've used quite a lot recently as well. Really enjoyed using that, and like other stuff like that. And I said, I've not really used Mega Charizard X before. I like to try that out. So basically, we've got Mega Charizard X. So we've got Water Fairy, Fire Dragon in 2 mons. So you can see where this team's going. You can see it on the screen anyway. But Side X with Tough Claws. It's got 130 in both both attack stats. So it can be run physical, can be run special, but Tough Claws makes you lean over towards physical, because it gets the Tough Claws boost on one's moves. Likes of Fire Punch. What else gets boosted? Acrobatics I think gets boosted. Dragon Claw I think gets boosted well. Dual Wing Beat not so sure on if it gets boosted. I know Stone Edge. Does Stone Edge? It's only a contact move, isn't it? This will be. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't say. But obviously it gets a D-Dance set, which is a very popular set, and that thing just kills things because it's base 100 speed. Get Dragon Dance up. Most of the time at +1, you'll outspeed most of your opponent's team. Definitely at +2, and then you can just go, haha, I'm set up. What are you going to do about it? Win. Pretty much, because this thing's a monster. Really looking forward to using it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it can really help us win our first championship, because realistically, we're in a league where everyone's a similar level to me. So I have no excuses, because if I come last, that means I'm the worst draft league player ever. So that could be cool. I could imagine if I tanked this season and just went, yeah, I'm shit, I'm terrible, you know, and then next season I just go, bang, try hard, come back this entry, bish bash bosh. But let's not do that. Let's just win this season. Let's just win this season. Okay, so at this point I'm thinking, right, okay. I thought, wouldn't it be smart? We've got Water Fairy, we've got Fire Dragon. Basically, if we just get a Steel Grass type, we've completed our core. Now, I picked up Ferrothorn because obviously Ferrothorn Tapu Fini is a really disgusting defensive core, because what's Ferrothorn weak to? Fire fighting. What's Fini resisted to? Fire fighting. What's Tapu Fini weak to? Poison. immune. Electric, resisted. Grass, resisted. Everything they're weak to, they are resisted or immune to on the other mon. It's fantastic. It's disgusting. But basically, and everyone said, I think a lot of people in the Discord said, I wasn't expecting you to draft that steel grass type. At the time I was thinking, wait a minute, you expect me to draft Ferroseed? What is this? And they said, oh, Kartana. I'm like, you know what? I love a bit of origami me. Kartana is a good boy. Haven't used him in freaking ages. But to be fair, Kartana, I want some bulky high points mons this draft, because I usually, what I do is I go, ooh, scary things that kill things at high points. I want these, gimme, 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 gimme. And then the likes of Feeny, Zard, then I usually get low tier bulky options, which don't really help because they're not that good. So I thought I'd switch it up again this time and draft Feeny, Ferrothorn as high up defensive cores as much as possible. I don't think I think I've only used Ferrothorn a couple of times before, and last time I used it was in that, the only time I remember having it was that stupid rain team I had in my first Wi-Fi league, which I didn't really enjoy. So hopefully when it's not in a rain team, it should be okay. Big Bolt, it gets rocks, it gets Lead Seed, which is nice, it gets knock off, protect, body press could be useful because quite defensively bulky, obviously very defensively bulky. 131 defense, can't be stopped. So basically, that's our special wall. This is our defensive wall. Can't even go wrong. Obviously, Rocky Helmet, Iron Barbs is a fantastic. Get some chip off, but easily done. Anticipation, probably not going to use that. But yeah, it gets, you know, Sub, Toxic, Thunder Wave if you really want to. You know, it gets some niche things as well, but it's probably going to be mainly run defensive fat, set up rocks for us, and try and whittle things down with Iron Barbs and whatnot. Especially if he's got like multi-hitting moves, that'd be fantastic. You get Iron Barbs, Rocky Hammer, Iron Barbs, Rocky Hammer, Iron Barbs, Rocky Hammer. Again, only reliable recovery on it is Lead Seed, so we don't really have any like bulky options with recovery on them right now. So maybe next season I'll have a look and say, ooh, let me draft Clefable instead. I think Clefable didn't get drafted, which is absolutely insane. So if the problem is, I could swap Feeny for Clefable if I really want to in trades, but it's one of those things. Do you really drop Tapu Fini for Clefable? Maybe you guys think I should when you look at the rest of my team, because we do have another water type on the team, which does fill in that niche that Tapu Fini water typing bulky water does provide to the squad. So that was our third pick. So now it was up to me. Basically, I thought, right, what good boy at the top will do the most for us? Because right now, I thought, let me pick up my boy. Gengar. Gengar is here. A speedy special attacker is what we needed, because we didn't have a special attacker. I mean, we had Feeny, but it's not exactly a win-win special attacker. You know, we needed a speedy boy because we had Charizard at 100. And that's about it. Tapu Fini's at 80, so we've got 110 in Gengar. Obviously, unfortunately, it doesn't have Levitate anymore, so it is weak to Earthquakes and obviously weak to Earthquake, weak to Ghost, and weak to Dark and Sidekick. Yeah. So obviously, it doesn't help with my ground type weakness because only we've got Ferrothorn to deal with that at the moment. But I think the last time I used Gengar was, I think, like properly, was in like Gen 6 days when it had obviously had Levitate, and it did absolute wonders for me. So I'm really hoping it's still as good as it was back then, because obviously it gets Stab, Thunderbolt, Giga Drain, Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Dark Pulse, Psychic. It gets a lot of good moves. It's got a good type coverage as well. Move coverage, should I say. Obviously, it does get setup options because it now gets Nasty Plot. Fantastic. What's it get? I think that's its only setup, is it not? I thought it got. Okay. Maybe it didn't have setup before, now it has not. It always had Nasty Plot, did it not? I don't know. But Nasty Plot Gengar sounds disgusting. So we're looking forward to using it, and hopefully it can help us doing the work, because I love a ghost type. If my draft doesn't have a ghost type on it, something is wrong. Something is very, very wrong, because ghost type, in draft anyway, is my favourite typing. So there we go. I should draft Mono Ghost. Next time we do a Mono type tournament, I'm going Mono Ghost. Sounds so amazing. Right, next up we have my boy, your son, the Staraptor. Now, Staraptor has been a very special place in my heart, because ever since I got into Pokemon in college, Staraptor was one of my go-to mons in college. That with Ambipom and all those guys, Seismitoad, all those guys were back in college. Staraptor was up there for me, and I do believe this could be factually inaccurate, but I don't think I've ever used Staraptor in draft before, which I think is insane, because I love me Staraptor. It's usually gone before it gets to me. That's the issue. But again, it's another speedy physical attacker this time. So paired with Gengar and Staraptor, I think really well, because obviously not weak to ground like Gengar is, so that's nice. Ghost type moves, immune to it. The deal with the fighting types, can just kill it, because at the moment fighting types weren't. Fighting types were kind of an issue for our team because after we drafted Gengar, me and Ben sat down and pretty much planned out what we want to get over at breakfast, as you do. Best time to plan, really. So Staraptor's here, obviously gets Intimidate, which is fantastic. You can go on a defensive Intimidate set, or you can go on an offensive Reckless set, because Brave Bird is boosted, as well as Double Edge. So both stabs can be boosted. If you want to be niche and it's got something which is very weak to fire, Heat Wave is there to kill things. Roost, U-Turn, Toxic, gets close combat as well, which I think is fantastic. So you can hit those bulkier steel types, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So hopefully your son, the Staraptor, can come in clutch and be the monster that it is to give us our first championship W, and hopefully does the best. Now, next up we have our electric type on the squad, and we have Vikavolt. We got Vikavolt because webs. There's a toss up between this and Galvantula, but has Levitate, so helps with our team that way as well. Vikavolt is just stronger special attacker, because it's got 145 special attack, ridiculous. Not the fastest thing in the world, but get some webs up. We outspeeding your boy. It's got decent defense at 90, so could potentially live a hit if we needed to. So webs is going to be fantastic for this team, because then Staraptor can just go, haha, we outspeed everything. Charizard at +1, haha, we speed everything. Gengar or Staraptor can just hold ban/specs and go, haha, we're going to kill things. So expect webs to be brought some of the time, maybe never. That's just for if any of my opponents are listening to this. I'm never going to bring webs. Never going to do it. Never. So yeah, probably bring webs every week. I don't know what one about, but it does get decent moves. It gets Agility set, which could become very useful. Obviously, it gets Air Slash, it gets Flash Cannon, which could be very interesting to hit those ground types with. Energy Ball as well. Energy Ball's just better to hit ground types with, isn't it? But maybe if it's against, I don't know, bulky fairies, something like that would be nice to hit them with. And Rock as well. Rock, but Energy Ball's right there as well. So why would you use that? I don't know. But it gets Stab, Grass, and Flying, basically, and Steel. So that could be useful. Obviously, it gets Webs, which is very fantastic. It gets Agility. I know I've seen Agility sets on this thing before, because no one expects it. You go Max Speed Agility. Fast Bug, Bish Bash Bosh, kill things. Yay. As you do. So Vikavolt's here, mainly for Webs. Our Electric check as well, because every team needs a Volt Switcher. They really do. So Vikavolt hopefully should be the one for that. Now next up, we're on to a Mon which I haven't mentioned before in this video, because bulky water type, needed a ground type really, didn't have one right now. And I think in the tier Gastron was in, there was the likes of, who else was in there? I think Rhyperior was around there. I think Sandaconda was around there, like all mons like that. I think Crocodile wasn't. Who else was around that too? Mudsdale, that was it. I think it was Mudsdale, Rhyperia, Sandaconda, and something else. I think that was it. Yeah, those were like the 3 up mons like lurking around that tier. And I thought, well, Gastrodon's here. It's a good boy. It gets Water Absorb, top tier bonus. Gives the water immunity, which is great. Only weak to grass, again, fantastic. Can be bulky, so if we really need to, and we can trade out Feeny for another fairy type if we need to, because if Clefairy is still available, and you guys think I should do it, snap that boy up as quick as a flash. But if not, then we'll stick with Feeny. So yeah, this water type gets recovery, fantastic. This water type gets Stealth Rocks, fantastic. This water type isn't as bulky, but it can be very, very bulky. It's got more HP than Feeny. It's got not as good defenses, but it can be a freaking fat. Oh, I'm just going to... Why do I have no internet? What is going on? Okay. Thanks, internet. I'm literally the only one in the house. How's the internet gone down? Anyway, honey ads. Ignore that. So Gastrodon's here. Obviously gets Scald, which is fantastic. Ice type moves, which Feeny gets ice type moves as well, so it doesn't matter. But it does get Sludge Bob, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, which is very useful. Can also get. Does it get Knockoff? I don't think it does get Knockoff. It doesn't, does it? No, but it does get likes of. I did not know it got Skitter Smack. That's a very weird thing to have. Anyway, so Gastrodon is here. I've been on bulky water type / art. Designated ground type for electric type immunities, so it's double immunity, which is great. And yeah, I don't think if we've got Feeny on the team, I don't see us bring Gastrodon that often, but it will be brought to a couple of games depending on matchups and whatnot. So Sea Slug, the Gastrodon, or Gary, we call it Gary, Gary the Snail, Sea Slug, What we got next up? We have Poe the Pangoro. Now, again, neither a fighting type and really a dark type on the team. And in between this and Scrafty, and Ben said, yo, Pangoro is much better if you want a... Scrafty's better if you want a defensive option. Pangoro's better if you want a, hit things option. Now, we've already got bulkiness in Gastrodon, in Ferrothorn, and in Feeny. And our only, physical, hard-hitting thing was Staraptor. So we needed an alternative to that. Oh, and Zylex as well. So we needed something else for that. And Pangoro was the answer. Not really used Pangoro before. I've used it before in free-for-alls and all that kind of thing, but nothing... I don't think I've ever used it in draft. I might have used it in competitive before, but not in draft. So, because people out there is other competitive Pokemon that isn't draft. I know, right? It's ridiculous. But yeah, obviously it gets Dual Stab, Dragon Claw, Elemental Punches, Gunk Shot, Poison Jab, Stone Edge, X Scissor, then Headbutt. It gets variety is on point. It gets set up in Bulk Up and Home Claws, Parting Shot. If we want a bulkier set, we can Parting Shot out because I love Parting Shot. I love Parting Shot so much. I don't know why I like that move, but I really do. When I'm on Morpeko, I pretty much run it all the time. Silvally all the time. It's just a really good move. And yeah, pretty much Pangoro is going to be here to be a fighting, punchy type boy and do the most it can. Now, next up, we've got Duraludon. Now, we've already got Steel type, already got Dragon type, but Duraludon was there, helped with our type matchup, I think. I can't remember why we picked it. Ben suggested it, that we needed it. Well, I actually can't remember why, because the draft was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So I don't remember why we needed it, but it helped with the composition of the team. It did. And it was we had a points left and we thought we might as well, take it up. Not really used it. Could be useful. It's got 120 special attack, 115 defense. It's quite bulky. It's got decent special attack, but its move pool isn't that big because it fits on the entire screen. It's got stab, electric, and dark, pretty much. That's about it. Its physical attack isn't terrible, at 95, but it gets the likes of body press, body slam, brick break. It gets more physical type moves, but you know, probably gonna run at dual stab if we do. And its abilities aren't useful unless it's got a mob rocking low kick. Then we can run light metal. I don't know why doubling our weight would be useful. I don't think it gets like heavy. If they've got heavy slam, that'd be fantastic, but it doesn't. It does. Ooh. Oh. That could be a thing. It gets foul play as well, and stealth rocks, and yeah, that's pretty much it really. So I don't see Dural unless we need a like attacking steel type. I don't really see us bringing this over Charizard for dragon type purposes, unless his dragon type is like if he's got Garchomp, for example. I'm not going to say the other ground dragon type because it's a scrub. I will not be named on this channel ever again. But if he has a Garchomp, for example, I mean they're both weak to freaking Garchomp. What's it? If he has a Kingdra, for example, this will be the option. But most of the time, we will be bringing that goddamn Charizard over this. But he's on the team to make up the numbers and help with team composition. That's what he's here for. Now, next up, we were looking around the low point mark to say, ooh, what good things are in the low tier, which could be very, very useful. We saw Thwacky in 3 points and thought, well, it can be bulky because it can run Eviolite and it's got decent defences, rivaling Gastrodon's, but just HP isn't great, so it can be very bulky. It gets Grassy Surge, which again reduces the damage of Earthquake, which Charizard, Gengar, and Duraludon appreciate very much. It gives Gastrodon, Verathorn, and Tapu Fini recovery in grassy terrain. Good job as well. I mean, it doesn't really fit Fini because we could run this Telepathy. I don't think that's allowed in this league, but if we can, run Telepathy and just run Grassy Surge on this with Terrain Extender or something like that. Or just run Grassy Surge, to be honest. Could be very useful. Obviously gets Grassy Glide, which becomes +1 priority in grassy terrain, so broken! And obviously it gets Swords Dance as well. This is very good mod for 3 points. Really is. It's going to get Swords Dance as well, so that we can just set up for days. It's got decent physical attack, so it gets Acrobatic, Grassy Glide, Knockoff, U-Turn, Wood Hammer, Drain Punch could be useful. 85 attack, Low Kick, Knockoff, Hammer Arm, Fake Out. I can see options with Thwacky. It can be brought to a couple of games this season. I can see it happening. So yeah, Thwacky's on the team to help us pick up that W. And last but not least, we have Lycanroc Dusk, because basically I didn't know. The original plan was have Gardevoir as his last option, right? But Ben kept coming to me, yo Jake, down a rock type, yo Jake, down a rock type, yo Jake, down a rock type. You need a rock type, Jake. You need a rock type. You need a rock type. So basically, I drafted a rock type. And I had 12 points left and I thought, ooh, which rock types around 12, 11 points are there, which could be very good? And I thought, oh, I guess I'll take Lycanroc Dusk. It's still there. It's a great, fantastic mod. A Cell Rock can't be stopped. A Cell Rock cannot be stopped on this thing. Which is really good. Obviously, it gets Tough Claw because it's all boosted. So, likes of Stone Edge and all that lot will get boosted. Play Rough will get boosted. Fire Fang will get boosted. Drill Run will get boosted. The only problem with this thing, it doesn't get Earthquake. But Drill Run should do damage for it nonetheless. I don't think it gets any. It gets Bulk Up Cell, but I think that's the only set it gets, other than Rock Polish, but it's got 110 speed again. So that does help with our speed tiers, but I don't think our speed tiers are that great. But that is our completed squad for PGF. Next Wednesday will be our Week 1 game versus the Eastleigh Trojans. So hopefully we can pick up W with that. but we usually don't win our first games in the season, so I don't know, but we're playing someone who's never played draft before, so knowing me, if you know me, I will lose to someone who's not played draft before, and the next week I will be like the unbeaten best coach in the entire draft community. That's just me. I'm unpredictable. What I need to work on is to sit down, concentrate my attention span, and be less unpredictable or inconsistent. Because unpredictable is really good, but being inconsistent, that's another question. So if you guys are excited that Pokemon Draft League is back on the channel, smash the like button, that'd be much, much appreciated as well. Leave some comments about what you think of the team. If you'd make any swaps, what would you swap? And basically, if you've got any funky, interesting steps and got any ways to help me improve the battle and hopefully pick up my first championship, please let me know in that comment section down below, or join the Discord server, and you can help me out each week. You could say, yo, I'm going to help you out for week 2. Let me put the matchups. I'll help you build. I'll help you do this. I'll help you do that. That'd be fantastic. Get into Imposter Army. The Imposter Army will help me pick up a W in draft for once. Please. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next Wednesday for week number 1.